All right. Welcome in to Flying with Mike on take 2 for YouTube. Actually, should be a third. We're going to pass on that. Give me 1 second. Let me just look at it real quick here. So, how has your week been? I've told you mine in Discord a little bit, but curious how you're all hanging in there. It's been a kind of wacky week, and today, for those who may not have even, 15 years ago, good chance you should have been. Is 15 years ago when the one of, if not the deadliest tornado in, we'll call it modern history, because I know there were some well before then, just as if not worse on the fatalities, and I'm talking about Joplin. Joplin occurred this date in year 2011. 158 people, and I hope I got that number right, and many, 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 many more recovering to this day still. Tore the whole city up. Neighborhoods, hospitals, schools. There's a great documentary on Netflix. I'm going to say it. I know what it means. I'm going to assume it's on this month. Just your heart goes out for that day in Joplin. That was just an amazing event. So prayers go out for those still trying to get through it 15 years later. That was a mile-wide EF5 tornado packing over 200-mile-an-hour winds. And I forget the track, but it was on the ground a while. So, just devastating out on the other side of the state. Again, hearts and your prayers, most definitely. Red Cross, I'm sure, is still, I don't think they're in emergency mode with them of 15 years, but I think they're still helping people there. It's just been watching it here on the other side of the state in the St. Louis region. We just celebrated the anniversary last year of an EF3 tornado coming through St. Louis. So, the weather is wacky, but it is secular. It goes in cycles. But wow. Just never know, folks. Never know. We just went to dinner tonight and drove past. Granted, nothing like those two events I just mentioned, but we saw some of the tornado damage of a few weeks ago here, so unbelievable. So, but hey, that's not what you're here. Oh God, excuse me. Now I got the hiccups. Excuse me. Oh, you came here to see and watch a stream by Flying with Mike, and that is I. We are sitting on the deck, very soggy deck. We know that here in St. Louis. But this is Columbus, Ohio. John Glenn International Airport. We're going to head over to Mitchell, Milwaukee. So with Skybus, we love flying this little airline because, one, the planes look sort of kind of maybe interesting, but the concept was bizarre, and it lasted a yearish, maybe a little longer, but not, I mean, it was very short-lived. You're in the cutthroat world of, and this, by the way, was oh gosh, 2007, I believe, when the airline happened. Um, when you're trying to compete in a world of very, very, very low fares, you try to generate revenue somewhere, and boy, making them look like a city bus on the inside did not help. So, but anyway, that's who we're flying for today. Skybus. Like I said, 1 year, if, I mean, it didn't go much longer. Um, but they had a pretty good schedule, or a hopeful dream schedule. I really can't pin down if they actually hit all these places or not. But we've done a fair job. We're moving to get back into a different groove with Piedmont Virtual. And I know, I said, wait a minute, you just said you're flying for Skybus. Piedmont Virtual is a historical airline group. And what they do is they take some of history's airlines, well, they take history's airlines, find the schedules, and put them out there. And we get to fly them here at Piedmont Virtual. So I take advantage of it, especially since I can always take up the bus and enjoy it. Just if you're on Twitch, hey, check out the link. If you're watching us on YouTube, hey, it'll be down in the notes, just the oh, what am I trying to say? More section of the page below, and you can check us out. It's actually a pretty good airline. The mainstay is Piedmont. Not what you're used to today. We're talking Piedmont 1980s, because I really don't know in the 90s when the switch, when they became part of a conglomerate of airlines that would be called US Air. So I really don't remember. I know, pretty sure I saw them in 1990, but don't quote me. But I do know in the 80s because I flew on them. Oh, wait. I take that back. I do know they were at least around in 1990 before the call to US Air, because I flew on them then too, to Denver, or to, I'm sorry, Dallas, Fort Worth. So, but anyway, that's the main core. And then we have airlines like Pan Am. Now, we may not have, like, say, for instance, they do the 85 schedule. Well, they may intermix other aircraft from other eras, i.e. DC-6, DC-3s, 727s, and so forth. So with Pan Am and other airlines, I think Braniff is still around, but they kind of switch it up, and I think we're getting ready to do that again. So, but yeah, it's just a bunch of historical airlines that fly under the same banner. And they are part of the Fusion airline family. Airlines like American, Virtual American, Lufthansa, Spirit, and so forth. Latam, I'm missing one. But anyway, you can check it out there. So, all right. So that's what the game plan is today. Columbus, Ohio to Milwaukee, Beer Town. Well, I'd say Beer Town, USA. I might get booed by those around here in the St. Louis area. So, but they did make more beer up there, I think. So, but anyway, we're not going to go there. You all can enjoy it in the chat. Oh, I forgot something. And that was on my mind, and oh, did I miss it? Hang on. Two things. And one last announcement before we get this going. Hang on. I just don't want to lose my train of thought. It's too easy at this age. Let's see, and there it is. Yeah, I just saw the last flight we did a couple days ago. So bear with me. I am still trying to get back in the game, so to speak. So we'll go with that. That should be fun. No, we're not using those sceneries. So, okay. So yeah. One last thing tomorrow. Now YouTube, I know tomorrow doesn't mean anything to you, but the 23rd of this month, that does something for you guys over on YouTube, which is tomorrow in real time. We are flying in a general aviation event over in New York, upstate New York, around the Syracuse, Rochester, Elmira area. To give you, they call it Finger Lakes. I get the call, the reasoning, but so I just wanted to put that out. And I think, you know what? I'm going to and I do beg my apology, folks. I don't mean to do this, but as you read in the Discord channel, I have been battling some stomach issues here of late. I believe I went through this last year around this time frame. So I'm going through it really, take two, if you will. So beg my pardon. I will be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry again for that, folks. I had 2 days, I think it was, the Lord blessed me with what I thought was recovery. And yes, it came back. It's a bit of the stomach flu, a bit of the allergies, all mixed together. Oh well. Hey, let's get in the cockpit, get this thing going. All right, so as we can tell, it is raining. We are on VAMSIS Pegasus 8 cars, so let's go through this pretty quick and get her in the air. Okay, we're on internal power. Let me go ahead and take us off the external. Bear with me here. I'm just going to kind of do this the quicker ways. All right, weight and balance wise, you know what? We will still stick to our norms, only because I know some people are grateful that we do. Sim Toolkit, just a quick aside, I still have not seen a major update for it, so that's why I'm still relying on Elevatech. It's crude, but it works. So, all right, so you can kind of see the that we have around us here. We're about right here. We're headed up here, so hopefully it gets better. We'll see. Well, what? No active flight? Okay. Oh, yeah, you got to click that there, Cap. I'm like, no active flight. Yeah, there is, but not here. 4SX, there we go. Skybus. Now, when you click that, look, it's amazing how that works. All right, the hour, 4-minute flight, 340 miles. We'll be at a cost index of 8 at 36,000. There's our numbers. Give or take, ToLiss is not in the world of exact. They're kind of hit or miss. Hey, Pratt PT6, welcome aboard with the applause. We sure appreciate you. Appreciate you all the time you come in here. This gentleman comes in just about every stream. He can't necessarily make them through the end, time zone things and all, but he is so much appreciated for showing up just about every stream. And if you haven't heard, tomorrow 9 a.m. Central U.S. time, if I did the math right, 1400 Zulu, we'll be doing a GA flight with Virtual USA Flying Club up in the Finger Lakes region of New York, upstate around Rochester, Binghamton, in that region. Ought to be fun. It's a 8-hour event. I think it's 8 hours. I could be over exaggerating, but it's a wide open time frame. Feel free, hey, all of you, feel free to join in with your GA aircraft and have a blast. We plan to. All right, the ATIS here in Columbus. Wow, we're right on. Yeah, we're right on the verge of minimums. On the visibility. No, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. That didn't fit one line. I thought we had a half-mile of visibility. Mile and a half visibility. Still pretty. But it's takeoff. Wind out of the east, 110 at 11, and overcast at 2600. Now that's visibility. Probably won't go any much lower unless that wind dies. If that dies, the visibility could hamper more. And currently they are in east operations running off the 10s. I think we're going to try 10 right. We'll take a look and make sure. And then if you want to read the rest of it, feel free to. I'll put it like this. Now, this is real world what's going on right now at John Glenn. VATSIM, if they were up, would have their own ATIS, usually. All right, it still does not appear that anyone has ventured online. All right, well, let me help the process. Give me 1 second here. No, not downloads. How about pre-file? That's better. There we go. I think we can still make that time frame. 2318 departure. Just get the nav info in here. The hardest thing is just right around the corner, getting through the McDo. Okay, that's good. That's good. Today's 23rd Zulu. Yep. And we can take 100. No. Let's go. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Go. And go. And what I'm doing is getting online with VATSIM. The only thing I should have done and probably could is check to see if anyone logged in. Where are we? Please squawk 4026. 4026. Done. Okay, green on the mode C. Everything's highlighted. Good. We're good to go with the radios. All right. So real quick, for those not used to it, and yes, I know it's still up and now it's not. Real quick, for those learning this aircraft, bear with me a second. Forgot what was their 3,000. Okay. All right. Loading the Airbus. You've got several ways you can do it. I like using it right here. I just push the mechanical, hit the plus button a couple times. There's my fuel. Then I hit the plus, and there's my baggage. And then I come over to the attendant. They got your doors. And there's my load and your lights. I really try not to mess with that. Then come over here real quick, weight and balance it, set to current, and boom. All right, 12,390. Are we still good on fuel? Stand by. Yes. Okay, so let's get going. All right, let's get that IRS aligning. Now, I have the display selector set to status, and that will tell us how long it takes to align. As it's saying right here, I blew it up for you. Hang on a second. Let me try to help my stream a little. There we go. And by the way, if you have any questions, let me know in chat. YouTubers, let me know in the comments. I really do try to answer all the questions that do come up. Oh, wow, I didn't know my phone was that dead. It's really on needing life support. Oh, why is it getting... There we go. There we go. Promise I'll have most of this hopefully sorted out tomorrow. All right, so the IRS 7 minutes. Let's get to work. That's just something I do. I like to have them not buried in the menu. Okay, bringing in charts. Why? Well, because we love the program. No, we're going to come up here, 10 right. Let's look real quick. Did I get it right? Yes, 10 right's going to be our departure runway. Okay, so now let's go to charts, taxi, and parking gate coordinates. Well, we'll back up a page. I forget which one we're in, and I don't think it's gonna tell me outside. Yes, it is, 21. Sometimes you can get out of the plane, look at it, and find it. Sometimes you can't. Okay, so gate 21, go to chords. What I do is blow this up till 21 can be put like this. It's easier to read these numbers. You'll see why here in a minute. We just updated our nav datas not too long ago. Check to make sure you have. If you're that kind of pilot that likes to fly it, you know, with the most current data. Go to init, then hit init request. Give it a second. By the way, depending how you set this up within SimBrief, guess what? If you don't set, oh, there it is. Okay. If you have it set in, you know, read through the manual here. That's why I don't go through how to get SimBrief set up here. Get it the way you want it. You could inadvertently, and I had for quite a while, if the RNAC, which is your nav data, is different than what's on the plane, it won't find it. So just to, you know, let you know. All right, LAT, we're at gate 21 is 39 north, 59.8. Let's hit the down button to get that. Click the line select over here. Get the up down arrows there, 82, 52.9. Okay, 82, 52.9 west, 39, 59.8 north. Align. Clear, clear, clear. Wind request clear. All right, now let's go back to init. All right, so now we're set up with the lat long of our spot. Now, in real world and in the sim, don't move the plane. You got 5 minutes, then you can do what you need to do. You're not even supposed to switch power, but I don't know how deeply they go here. By switching power, I mean, if you're aligning like we are, and say you start on ground power, you got to stay on ground power till you're done. Now, the problem is when you fire up the APU, most of us have the APU generator button pushed, so it automatically kicks in. Well, that power switch could screw up your alignment. All right, there's our 36 and all. Let's go page 2. Go back to the weight and balance. This should match pretty close to here. If not, we'll make changes. 118.6, that is good. Zero fuel weight, ZFW, CG, center of gravity, 28.6, they match. And 12.4, I'm going to go, they match. Go to F plan. Oh, wait, you didn't see that. Let me clear charts for a moment. Go back. Just so those new can see it. ZFW, ZFWCG, block fuel, and they're right here. CFG, CFG, bleh, bleh, ZFW, zero fuel weight, ZFWCG, center of gravity, and there's your fuel. Okay. All right, let's get charts back in here. Real quick, in a way. Because I don't like using it, because as you can just saw, it just blocked a lot. Click, click, click. All right. Okay, we'll close out of that. All right, now let's go to F plan, CMH, departure, 10 right. Now, do we have any SIDs? It says 0 here. You can double check, go to that map, SID, and there are none. Okay, go back to flight. By the way, here's the METAR. Here's the current ATIS. Now, here's real world, which we saw on Elevatex. They do have say intentions.ai here. I don't like it. Just gonna put it out there. I don't like it. I know many of you love flying with it. That's great. I just don't like the brevity to it. The real world just is also, by the way, giving you the friction codes. The runway is wet. Keep that in mind. All right, so no departures. So we can click no SID if we want and click temporary, and that put it in. Now, you can't see that just yet. We'll do this. I'll do it on the side. We're going to be going to PKACZ, as you see. That's our first fix. But we're going to have to either vector ourselves or someone come online and do it for us. All right. Then we're going to go to Terry. All right. And then, hang on. Let me pull that out a little so you can see it. Okay. So there's Pax Terry. Up to Fort Wayne, GIG, I think is Goshen, and then Brave, Petty, and that's where we begin the arrival. All right, now I'm going to block this out. Whoop, I didn't want to do that. Let me get you guys taken care of first. All right, so now let's get up here to the Milwaukee area. There's Petty, there's the airport. One available arrival, and I want to check. What the heck are we landing on? Oh yeah, it's a runway. Oh, okay. Wonder what kind of approaches we have. First off, do we have... All right, so we're landing on this runway right here. I've taken off on it, but I don't think I've ever landed. I've always come in on the long one. 8,300 feet available. Plenty for this plane. A flight we haven't done in months. Santos Dumont, South America, Brazil. They're 4,000 foot runways, or I think less. So if it can land there, 8,000's not as piece cake. Maybe not for this guy, but it's piece cake. All right, arrival. All right, so we are looking at, there is an ILS. That's cool. Let me look at the available approaches. They're not going to be helpful. Okay. See how that helped? You can see your route and where they are. That's not helpful. All right, hence why we don't have one. It's VFR, so that's good. By the way, what is the weather? 7 right, 7 left. Okay. 020 at 13, 10 miles. Okay, not bad. All right. So we'll come back, hit the approaches now. Ooh, I have one that looks kind of nice with the weather. The real Avic is now following us. Welcome aboard, the real Avic. We appreciate you. Hope you enjoy. We're just about ready to start wrapping this part up and getting her in the air. This looks like an RNAV. Is that the Yankee? Let's see. Now, if you're unsure what they're showing you here, click the map. That is not what I was looking for. Click the map. That's what I was looking for. Let's do it. Okay, we're going to do the RNAV Yankee from Anur. So we add it to the route here, and what it'll do is put it in our chart. Now, one thing I should have looked at prior, minimums for the approach. Now, if this was coming into here, this could be a problem. 1.5 miles visibility, remember? 7/8, we're almost to a mile. And the ceiling wasn't a problem. It would have potentially been the visibility. Not so in Milwaukee. We have, unfortunately, it has to be higher than 300. There are no 390s on METARs, 390 feet. So it has to be higher than 300. Technically, I stand corrected. Strike that. Reverse that, strike that again, and reverse it. 400 feet. Like I said, you cannot have a METAR that says 390 feet. They're done 200, 300, 400. 002, 003, 004. So we have to have 400 feet on the METAR. Now, PIREPs can kind of help, but overall METAR has to be 400 or higher. RVR can also be your saving grace, 4,500 feet, or 7/8 of a mile visibility. All of which not in play here, so we don't have to worry about it. But that is something you do need to take in effect with an RNAV. ILS, the numbers go down. So let's just say it was like Columbus up there. We'd have to switch over to the ILS. All right, real quick. So let's go next page. RNAV 1 right, here we go. We're doing the RNAV Yankee. 7 right, so we're doing Yankee. We're not doing a star. Fias. Yeah. All right, now you saw how it, no you didn't, hang on. What it did is it populated it on the chart. So we're going to go from petty to honor to go around into Milwaukee. All right, and we'll insert that. Now, what we were checking before was for discontinuities, just like this. I'm going to clear it. And insert. And you saw the line go from petty direct. If we get in a situation where they tell us fly this heading off petty, we just go into heading mode and push the button and or pull it, I forget how it is, and head off that way. All right, so that sets us up there. I'm going to check while we're coming in on air. Let me drop this down one. Okay, so from petty to honor to Goss, snaps, Jitnu, C-Max, Jassy, Irony, and Wallum, and then the runway. Missed approach is out to Prout via Fahey, Kullik, Prout, and hold. All right, alternate for today is guess where? Chicago, Zandy, and then we join whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. Back to F plan, clear that, put that back on arc. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Clear this. Center. Oh, my bad. Let's see. I don't think anyone's come up. No. All right. And that's ready to go. All right. Last step. Initial climb out of here. Well, we are going to 36. All right. Oh, we got to do the performance page. RadNav. Perf. Okay, we have a takeoff page here. Let me get that weather back up here. I'm not going to put it in front of y'all, so hang on. All right, so as of 10 minutes after the hour, 11. Temperature, 16. We still 3,000. Okay, wet runway. Run engine ice. All right, got a 10,000 foot runway. Let's see what it computes. Okay, let's try changing the configuration to flaps 2. I like that. Okay, come over here, hit uplink. Then we got to make some changes. So 0, 9er, 0, diagonal 1, 1. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get away with something. Oh, dang it, I'm not reading. Arrows. There we go. All right, now one thing I do is I'll put the flaps in, but leave the rest blank. And I'll explain here in a minute why. Now, we are under flex. So we're going to flex the engines in a way that they'll be at 66, thinking it's 66 out there, which gives us a different thrust ratio. And I know that is probably way wrong in an explanation, but I'd love to hear your comments to help me out in how to talk about that. All right, so let's request. When the little exclamation mark comes back, I wait, but you don't. It's actually there. There we go. It also tells you. All right, now this is if I was to go max power, Toga. We're flexing, so go here. Check your numbers, they all look good. And across here, 126, 126, 129. Up 0.4 on the trim, 2 for the flaps. That looks great. Let's go ahead and insert it. I'm not going to worry about thrust reduction, accelerations, and engine out. Takes too long. It doesn't take long, but for what I want to do here, it is. I'm going to lower this to 121. I have as you see here, from 108 to 126. Pilot and command. Granted, I have to go off what the airline gives me unless I think they are really whacked up. I can call them and tell them that over the phone, or walk in. In the case here, I believe this airline had a big hub here or based here, and go face to face and tell them, you moron, I'm not doing that. No. But seriously, it's your butts on the line. They're sitting in a happy desk. So it's your butt, their butts, the paying passengers behind you. So you get some say in that. You do realize that, I hope. All right, and that sets us up here. Now, all right, so 30, let's go flight director, LS, constraints. And just make sure we're on VOR 1 and 2. Do the same over here, LS, constraints, VOR 1, VOR 2. Now, here, if you want it to be further out, you can. Fly, you know, the pilot not flying may want it further out. Then you want to check the middle here. Speed is managed by the computer. Heading managed by the computer. Dot, dot, or dash, 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 dots tell you that it's all taken care of by the aircraft's computers. We've set 36. I don't know if we're going to hit it or not. We'll see. See if it'll climb. All right, that sets us up ready to go. Like I said, we are running on Pegasus, which is the flight recording. Okay, we're going to go ahead, go to auto. Yes, I can do this below. Go ahead and close this up there. A reason you want it in auto: when you land, they'll automatically start coming out to your plane. So, all right, so let's do it. All right, final checks. All right, yeah, we need to do a couple things up top here. Okay, pack flow to high. Fuel pumps on fire. Okay, everything's set there. Flight computer, flight directors, and switching is set 12 o'clock. Down, 3 green. Nose wheel steering on. Okay, we're ready to push. Let's put the first officer on flight plan. Calling for push. In a second, I gotta set the radio. Hang on. All right, CTAF. 32.7. John Glenn International area traffic. Skybus 28, pushing back stand 21, and will taxi to 10 right. All right, there we go. Okay, pushback. I use better pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
All right, let's get the beacon on.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Clear to connect. Face us. Face the nose to the east. I'm correct, to the west. Oh, I hate when that happens. My eyes started itching. And it doesn't want to stop. All right, so let's go. Again, my apologies. I did not expect an hour on the ground here. Compliments of my ongoing stomach issues.
And bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
They're not going to move until they move.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Airbus starting is pretty easy. Just turn the switch and light number 2. All right, let's get number 1 going. Boy, a crummy day here in Columbus. Yeah, we got a light off on number 1. Okay, we're available. Let's get those checks started. I'm going to go ahead, turn off the EPU bleed.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
All right, and we'll kind of hodgepodge through here. I'm going to go ahead, turn the EPU off. Kind of hold till they're clear. Reason being, in the real world, when they show you the pins, everybody should be away from the aircraft. So anything that could hit them when you're checking surfaces, flaps, granted, the aircraft sits up pretty high. You just never know. And it lets you know that it's clear around you. It's not like we're on alert for attacking bombers or
bypass bin has been removed.
a passenger
Hand signal on the
flight.
right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Okay. Where are you? There you are. And that's what we're looking for. All right, let's get this finished up. Okay, ground spoilers. Theoretically, shouldn't have been a problem. This could, but, you know, hey. Verify. Flaps 2. Okay, moving on up to the east side. We need that one. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. And we're going to set the trim to 4. He says cautiously. I thought I could do, whoa, they changed something on here. Okay, there we go. All right, and now let's just check our surfaces since we have the gauge open. Ailerons look good. Trim looks good. And then something I do just to make sure things around the stick are clear. All right, looks good. All right, let's push on. APU is off. Nose wheels, okay, elapsed time started. Brake max. No terrain or weather yet on the radars. And what are we missing? Let the cabin know. Turn off. Taxi on. Seatbelts are on. And does the aircraft pass its test? It appears so. We're all green. Here we go. Columbus area traffic, Skybus 28, taxi 10 right. Okay. Okay, we're all set, ready to go. So again, hope your week has been well. Mine has been, to say the least, it's been an interesting week. A little challenged here and there, but especially yesterday, but overall, a good week, just a little challenging here and there. We all experience that though, so, you know, nothing, but I'm glad y'all are here. Glad y'all made it through. Hey, those of us in the States, it's Memorial Day weekend, 3 days. Woohoo, we're off for some of us. But, and the unofficial kickoff to summer. Most pools open unless you're in my hometown, and yeah, we'll leave it at that because we try to stay out of politics, but sometimes we wander very cautiously in and get right back out of the water. And it's just too divisive. It used to be you could talk about politics. It was, people would start talking religion. That's when the heat turned up. Oh, no. It's politics now. You could probably talk religion with no trouble. Just politics, just so divisive right now. So, at least here in the States, I don't know about abroad. So, but anyway, currently, as of 3 minutes ago, it just updated at 40 minutes after the hour, 090 at 10. Hey, we're up to 2-mile visibility. I would say poo-poo, but then again, that's probably the way X-plane. It's delayed, I'll bet. Rain, drizzle, and broken sky at 2,500 feet. So, believe it or not, sound the trumpets of joy. We're reaching the end of the runway to turn on and take off. We'll have a few minutes airborne to talk more about our weeks. Look forward to, if you're willing, to let us know. Oh, I see I forgot something else. I'll have to fix that before we take to the runway. We're not flying for Millennium Mac Air. We are flying for Piedmont Virtual. Hey, bear with me just a quick... There we go. All right, so final checks. Transponder, TARA. Brake temps, good. Engine fan, not needed. Engine mode will leave in the spot. Let's go click. Okay, we're clear for takeoff. Well, we're ready. Columbus area traffic, Skybus 28 departing 10 right to the west. Y'all ready to go? Here we go. 60 and the airspeeds are alive. 80. 100. Hands are off the throttle now. V1. Rotate. Okay, checks complete. All right, we're just doing a 180. Amazing, none of this rain is painting. Okay, we're on our way. And we are crossing 10,000 feet. And we're on our way. Let me get the ETA up there for you all. All right, so welcome again. Recapping, we are flying from correction, I'm so used to calling it Port Columbus, John Glenn International, Columbus, Ohio, up to Milwaukee's Mitchell Field in Wisconsin. We're flying in the ToLiss A319 CFM engines And for those on Twitch, in the chat, you can see how to get your little paws on it. All right, so like I said, once we got airborne, let's switch back to Unicom. We talk a little more about my week. I told you it was a little interesting. In Discord, I gave it away. Now let me just read what I put over there. John Factory, thank you for the follow. We sure appreciate you. This week we had a first, and it was not an, this is something that I knew would eventually happen. Welcome to driving jobs. I drive a parts truck here in St. Louis, and the one thing you can almost guarantee, some kind of mechanical issue, most likely tire. And yeah, we had a tire go flat on us. Not sure yet. Nobody's wanted to fess up what happened. But I don't know. I honestly do not believe I ran over anything or anyone. So I really would love to know what caused it so I can try to adjust if I need to. That's just part of a little bit of that trucking thing in me, that when I drive, if something happens, I try to not let that happen again. Not to say that sometimes I fail and it happens again. Don't get me wrong. Tires are something that can happen anyway, But I always like to know. But yeah, it was an interesting thing. The truck threw a shoe, and thankfully we were able to safely get her pulled over. And an interesting side note to this, your phones, have that GPS thing. Well, we run on that GPS to get from point A to point B to C to D to E to F, and you run the alphabet from there. And I was, following for the most part what it tells me, and it put a reroute up, taking me off a very busy interstate, keeping me on the one I was to then take the next exit. I got this feeling that happened more so from God to give me a more safe location to park than on the side of the road of a major interstate. I've done that, well, a couple times, but recently, once with one of my daughters. I never want and wish that on anyone. Oh my God. When you've got a busy, busy interstate, those of you that live in Atlanta and Nashville know what I'm talking about, plus other parts of the country. Not just saying this is St. Louis only, no. Any major road, you don't want to be parked on the side. You're one, too close to the traffic. Two, traffic 9 out of 10 times isn't paying attention. They're watching their cell phone movies and sports and whatevers, podcasts, and hey, maybe me. Doubtful, but maybe. And when they shouldn't be. And I will say that even if it is my show, shouldn't be. You need to be focused on the highway so we don't see the videos of cars accidentally, or God forbid, hopefully not intentionally, plowing into cops, giving, citations and whatever, or to bystanders. I'm trying to think of the right word here. Oh man, it was right on the tip of the tongue and it left. But anyway, suspicious when I see videos like that. Now, if it's off a camera on a cop car, I get it. Anything else anyone else puts out there, I'm very suspicious. So, but anyway, back to it. They've towed the truck and me back to the yard. We got a new finish the day off, and they fixed my truck. So, as you would expect in that story, but it was just a little amazing to me how uh, things happened to get me to where I ended up. Is in a much safer location, and I believe that was God's providence. Uh, really working overtime to make sure I did that. So, anyway, we are through 28,000 climbing up to flight level 360. I do not know how long we will hold there. And pardon me again, but that nasty stomach thing that I think, let me reread real quick. I thought I was mending. Well, it's decided to show itself in a vengeful way. So I will be right back. All right, we're back. Again, my apologies. Was really hoping that flu had kind of flown the coop, but, well, we'll deal with it. All right, so top of descent. Let's look for it. Wrong button. That's the button I wanted. About 100 miles out. Cool. All right, now we also reiterate, no arrival. We are flying an RNIP. So let me double check. Yep, no ETC, so we're doing good. All right, so I've told you about the fun things in my week. Talk to me, how's your week been going? Feel free in the chat. Feel free in the comments section if you're willing, in YouTube. And love to know how your week went. Next week's a shortened week for many of us here in the U.S. 4-day work week. I don't think I've ever had one. So that ought to be fun. All right, so we are just cruising along. Let's see what it looks like outside. Pretty crummy. Wow, we are still in the clouds. How about that? 36,000 feet, we're still in them. It's like about 25 to 30 minutes to Milwaukee. Again, we have an RNIP approach. Let's take a look at it. I don't know if we got a good look at it or not, but let's take a look at it. All right, so, you know what? Let's go ahead and hide all that. That's behind us. All right, so here's the briefing strip up here. Your basic frequencies across the top, 124.575, unless Milwaukee Tower comes up, or O'Hare Center, or Chicago Center. I guess I shouldn't rule out approach. But anyway, any of those come up, we would be on their frequency. Although the tower, we'd be on the same. So an RNAV approach, so there's no frequencies being set by human hands. Final approach is 076. I'm gonna scoot up a little. Oh man, these hiccups decided to come back. Okay, so at Wallem, which is right here, we need to be at 1,800 feet or 1,071 feet above the ground on the glide. The decision altitude we'll put in is 1,119, and you're 730 feet roughly above sea level. All right, there's our in case of a miss, that's what we got to fly. Route to Prout and hold. So basically, Fahey, Kullik, Prout. Hold. We'll have to do a teardrop entry and then go into a right-hand turns. Oh, I'm looking at it and going, why am I not getting this right? All right. Honors where we're coming in at 7,000, no faster than 220. We'll probably be much slower. Goss then snaps 6,000 foot, no faster than 210. CMEX no faster than 190, and we'll hold under 190 to Wallem. And then we can adjust for our final approach speed. Oh, excuse me, Chazen, Irony, and that. Okay, again, Irony at 2,800 feet. Wallem, and then the runway, about 3.2 miles out. My guess is about 700 feet a minute if we don't have a glide slope. And again, our minimums today must be 400 or higher if there is a broken or overcast on the METAR, and 7/8 of a mile or better. All right, Malzer and Pappies are what we're expecting for the approach. All right, once we're on the ground, we'll come off wherever. I'm hoping by Echo. No, by Tango, sorry. And then we'll work our way somewhere right in here. All right. I'm thinking we're really on top. Yep. All right, we have 50 miles, so let's plug in our latest and greatest data. According to the latest data, 21 minutes old. Perfect. 020 at 10 mile visibility, 6,000. All right, so everything's in. I got no signs of rain or anything, so we'll keep it dry. Anti-ice off. Let's look at it. I'm gonna go medium. So about 4,000 feet down the runway. All right, 3,000. Oh no, this is gonna be 3,005, 3,000. Oh, whoa, back the truck up. Temperature up here, 10 degrees Celsius, and 020 diagonal 10. MDA we said would be 11 and 19. Okay, we're looking at about an approach speed of 129, which pretty close to what I was thinking, 130. 124 for the landing speed, so we're looking good there. All right, let's go back to perf. We're 34 miles out. So again, those just tuning in, we are en route Milwaukee, Wisconsin, departed Columbus, Ohio. We are still in the slop, flight level 360. We're flying for a one-year wonder child airline called Skybus. Always difficult to try to make money as an airline in a low-cost environment. So that's why they're a one-year wonder child. Very few have made it. We just saw here recently Spirit go by the wayside, although they went a heck of a lot longer than a year. But yeah, it's just tough. I mean, think about the cost of the plane, cost of the fuel, maintenance, labor, that being pilot, flight attendants, and everything in support of each flight. It's a lot of money that is sitting there, folks. Yeah, they make a buck, and but that's about it. And to be able to continue, it's tough. There's a whole lot more fees and all of that they pay. So yeah, it's not as cut and dry as some like to argue. But you, the public, this is what you want: cheap airfare. So the airlines have to figure out how to make it happen. Skybus, in their business plan, thought, hey, let's make the interior of the plane a big advertisement canvas like city buses. Yeah, that didn't last. Well, the airline didn't last. Couldn't tell you if that was a successful model or not. So, like I said, it's very hard to start an airline up, keep it going. In the world we've lived in since deregulation, but many have, but not easy. All right, we are within 20 miles. Oh, we're within 11. Let's set. I'm gonna kill the music here. Hang on, folks. Okay, what did I say? We're descending down to 7,000. That's where we're headed. Okay, so we got the descent underway. Now, if you're watching us on Twitch and you like what you see, we'd love for you to hit that follow button. Over on YouTube, and by the way, we've had a couple people click in with the follow tonight. Real Averick and John Factory, welcome aboard. Thank you so much for following us. If you're on the YouTube side of the house, hey, hit that subscribe button. Join the family there. Love to have you aboard. And as always, comments are welcome, be it in the chat room here on Twitch or in the comments section on YouTube. YouTube's a great tool for us in that it allows those time zones, pardon the cough there, the time zones not able to watch us live, they can now see us, albeit not live, but on YouTube. They just can't use the Twitch chat. They have to comment in the comment section. But again, click that follow button on Twitch, subscribe button on YouTube. Both options are free, and love to have you in the family. All right, our descent has definitely steepened. Kinda hoping we're going to break out. I'm thinking that is just pipe dream. Let me try something. That's what I thought. Okay. Clouds all the way there. Oh well. So I hope you enjoyed. Now again, if you just tuned in, we're planning the RNAV RNIP Yankee runway 7 right at Milwaukee. Unless told otherwise, and then we'll have to see where we go from there. Tomorrow, for those of you here on Twitch, we will be up in upstate New York in the Piper Arrow, flying around the Finger Lakes area. That's, if you want to put like a little, so those of you who don't live in the States know, if you know where Syracuse, New York, Binghamton, Ithaca, Rochester, you're in that vicinity. If those are still not ringing a bell, look for Buffalo, go east. And you'll see these lakes in the upstate region that look like fingers. And that's where the name came from. Down on the ground, you can't really tell it, but in the air, obviously, it kind of does look like fingers. That's tomorrow. Today, ToLiss A319 on the RNAV RNIP to runway 7 right in Milwaukee. About 10 minutes out. I guess I'll put a prediction in. All right, now we can dial that down. All right. Get that chart here. All right, so 7,230 is as fast as we can go. Oh, are we starting to break free? Oh my goodness. We are. It's kind of a neat picture. All right, we're at 19,000. All right. We just crossed it. Transition. We're descending to 7,000. We'll slow to 230. One last time for any new arrivals, we are flying from Columbus to Milwaukee. We're about 10 minutes or less to landing at Milwaukee, planning the RNIP approach to 7 right. Weather isn't all that great. Here I'll show for those on Twitch. It's kind of tough for those on here. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. All right, so you can get an idea. There's the latest weather for YouTube. Well, the sky is parting as we're getting close. How about that? All right, time to slow the beastie down. All right, we're crossing Petty as we speak. Next up, honor and the start of the approach. Okay, landing checks. All right, speed brake, nav display. Okay, now we turn LS off on both. Um, All right, we are on the RNIP. Last chance for predictions. It's exclamation mark, the word predict, space, and a negative number. Okay, we've got approach flaps out. All right, we're just coming around the horn. I think we're slow. No, we're supposed to be at 190. Look at that, put us right on final approach. And we are approximately, oh no, we're about 10 miles out. Good evening, Milwaukee area traffic. Skybus 28, approximately 8 mile final, 7 right on the RNAV RNIP. Senor and Diab, welcome. And yes, it is a beautiful view up here. All right, we're about to I think we're going to take over and screw up the approach. No. Unfortunately, it's not meant to be flown to the deck like many think it is. It is an approach to get you in low enough to find the runway. And then take over and land it. Landing.
100 above. 300. Minimum. Retard. 10. 5.
Welcome to Milwaukee. I did not catch my landing rate. Felt kind of hard. $292 is what I just read. All right, Milwaukee. All right, Milwaukee traffic. Skybus 28's off 7 right. Sierra to the ramp. You know what? I think I'll park on this side. welcome to Milwaukee. Let me just finish that off. Flaps okay, spoilers, engine mode, retract, brake temps, cooling. Let's get the chocks under it. And there is, I haven't done a thing to start that. And that's that auto I talked about in the beginning. All right, and then, all right, so there you have it. A nice flight into Milwaukee. I'm not a huge night flying person, but the time frame was good. A nice twilight landing. You could still see the plane, even though we were in the clouds most of the way. It was still a really good flight. Hang on. Overall, let's take a look at this. All right, submitted to the airline for review, I'm sure. Okay, we've got all the available points. I'm looking for the most important one, the landing rate. All right, 105, that's liftoff. I want landing. There we go. They got us just shy of 500 feet a minute, 2 Gs. Okay, well, you know, it comes out that way. They also got us 600 feet down the runway? Huh. Okay. Wow. I didn't know I landed early. Huh. Okay. Well, yeah, it happens. More often than not lately. And it's been accepted. So cool. All right. Let's get Elevatech in here and wrap up the night so we can get some sleep and be ready for tomorrow. Oh, we got a question to answer. Select your gate. Okay. Let's look at the flight. Again, pretty standard. Flew mostly on the autopilot. So, all right. Let's take a look at this. I don't know how it's getting 600 feet. Huh. All right, here's why. These hash marks are 500 feet apart. Being an 8,000 foot runway, kind of, you lose, I think, one band. So it's 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, and there usually is, but that's also on a longer runway. All right, that's why. Now, reason I say this, okay, this is great, gives you an idea where you landed. Okay, now if you start seeing them down here, you better start really thinking about brakes. Okay. All right, so that mark there is where we landed. Okay, it says 492 also. I don't know why I'm not seeing that. Oh, there it is. I see it now. At 122 knots. That's not bad. That's 2 knots short. Why? The 600-foot thing is really bugging me. Don't know why. But anyway, 1.5 Gs instead of the 2 that the AMSIS had. So overall, not a bad flight. Not a bad landing. Some grumpy passengers, but guess what? You always have grumpy passengers. So we parked it. Oh, we said D56. That must have been our gate out. Yeah, because it's got it here. So with that, that shows us a pretty good flight, pretty good landing. This guy is not complaining too much. All right, and go here. All right, I'm going to go ahead X out of that. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed. I'm glad to have y'all aboard again. John Factory followed us about an hour ago. The real Vic caught us 2 hours ago, pretty much on the as we were climbing out of John Glenn International. Again, that's going to wrap it up. Today's flight was John Glenn International in Columbus, Ohio. And we are now sitting in Milwaukee. Beer country. I know, where I live, they're going to stone me for that. Oh, but anyway, hey, get over yourselves. No, y'all have a fantastic night. It's been my pleasure. Thank you all for joining in. Again, tomorrow around 9 o'clock, we'll be firing up the Piper Arrow. Tomorrow being Saturday. And we're going to fly around the Finger Lakes area of upstate New York. Again, just a ballpark for those not familiar with that part of New York, or, they may not live in the U.S. Look for Buffalo, go east. You'll find Rochester, Syracuse to the north, to the south, Binghamton, Ithaca, and there's another one. I can't think of it. But anyway, in between all of that, you'll see these lakes that look like a finger. And that's where we're going to be flying the Arrow. So hope y'all can carve out some time. Grab the Cessna. Every sim, I believe, has the Cessna 172. Have a great, folks, sometimes flying the little, what I trained in as a real private pilot, they're fun. I love flying the Arrow. The Arrow is one of my favorite planes. But that's what we'll be doing. So I hope you all can join. YouTube, of course, there'll be a video. So, and speaking of YouTube and Twitch, if you're new to the channel, haven't done so already, we'd love for you to click that follow button on Twitch. YouTube, click that subscribe button. YouTube, you have the option. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. And I'd love to have you aboard. If you haven't also done this, we have a Discord channel giving you the invite to it right there in Twitch. YouTube, don't worry. Everything that comes up in the chat already down below in your comments section. Or I'm sorry, in the description section. So, all right. Well, that's going to put a wrap on it, folks. What a beautiful night to fly. Kind of fun to play on words there. It was really crummy out of Columbus, but that's okay. That's kind of what makes flying fun sometimes. So, y'all enjoy your night, enjoy your day. We'll see you at 9 o'clock Central U.S. Time for a fun time flying general aviation. God bless you all. Have a fantastic rest of your night or day.